Hey guys, wanted to highlight a tool that will be infinitely useful as you're trying to figure out ways to increase your levels of technology integration. So who better than to model after than the masters themselves, Google. So 2 years ago, I sent out a video showing you applied digital skills for Google. That's on YouTube, on my channel. It's also available on my blog and searchable that way, both those under the Monday Tech Minute. So check those out. There's lots of really good resources in there to dig through, but I'm just going to walk you through the whole interface today. So you're going to go to applieddigitalskills.withgoogle.com to pull up this page right here. So here's where you land. You've got to sign in and let it know that you're a teacher so it can sync everything with your Google Classroom. So if I click on My Classes, I can see student progress and everything connects with the Google Classroom that I already have. But let's go ahead and jump into the content. So let's click on the Lessons tab right here. And we can filter anywhere from elementary to adult. So let's go ahead and hit late elementary here. And I was in the primary school today and I saw lots of students posting kind words in the hallway. So that's something that we could grab right there and flip and make it digital. So here's a show appreciation with Google Slides, which I think would be right in line with what we want to do with PBIS and how we want to teach our students how to be kind to each other. So let's go ahead and click show appreciation with Google Slides. I'm going to, for our sake, go ahead and hit start and give you the quick tour through, but you can see just how everything's laid out here right at the bottom. Let's hit start. So just like your mini lessons, we get a teacher here, we hit play, it's in small consumable chunks. So I think there's 5 or 6 videos here, but she is going to walk us through every aspect of this lesson. So once we get to the end, she's actually going to circle back around and recap the things our students need to do to complete this section. So they need to sign in, which they can already do to their Google account. They need to create a slide presentation. And then most importantly, they need to name the presentation. So let's go ahead and jump to the next video. Again, she starts and she talks us through and circles back around again at the end, like we should all be doing, pulling everything back together in that mini lesson. So now she's talking about planning for this lesson right here. So your students have a small consumable thing that they can complete. So you're saying, hey, Chris, this is going to take too long. It said 45 to 90 minutes for students to complete. Well, guess what? Since everything's chunked into these small videos, when your students come back in, they can start where they left off. So let's go ahead and hop into video number 3. And now we can see this video actually has real examples for our students to pull inspiration from. And she continues to explain how to put this together and how to plan for your students. So this is completely hands-off for you, something that your students, after doing it a couple times with you, will then understand the flow of this lesson. And this can be an extra enrichment activity or maybe even a model for you on how to design your lessons so that they flow a lot easier digitally. So these lessons are set up for students in Chrome. So there are going to be a couple buttons that don't match up because we're using iOS on the iPad for this, but everything is still accessible. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through it now as I already worked through the whole lesson. So I'm just going to open Slides. I'm going to bypass, go to Google Drive and everything else because it's just going to push me to the Slides app anyway. I'm going to hit the plus button. From here, you might be tempted to choose a template. And if you did that, there's nothing wrong with it, but we want our students to choose a theme. So let's go ahead and choose New Presentation and title it. Now, once your students are in here, we're going to hit the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner, and now we can choose a theme. So let's go ahead and click on that. And themes are great because your students don't spend hours changing colors and looking for fonts and trying to be creative and sometimes just creating something that's not very visually appealing. So these are all vetted and color matched and everything else, and they just look good. So let's go ahead and choose one of these. That looks fun right here. And now our theme's loaded, our font is picked out. So let's go ahead and do this, double tap, and double tap again to add my name. That completes the steps for that first video. And as I continue on, I can click to add a slide in the bottom. So, and like I said, everything's color matched. So we have this hot pink here to draw attention, this kind of a complementary color to everything that we're doing. We have a half yellow, half white version, and all the fonts match and they're the correct size to be readable and legible. So this is a great activity to do with your students. And I pulled it from Applied Digital Skills with Google, tons of free lessons, and it walks you through everything. So these are some fun, simple activities that we can use with our students that can really model how we can build a better lesson to integrate technology in our class to get a little more engagement for our students and not make it too intimidating for either of us. If I can help you roll out any of this, feel free to click on the link in my email, look at my calendar, and then book me for a time that works for you, and we can make a plan together, and I'll make sure that you feel comfortable when delivering this kind of content.